Hey there and welcome back. We are close to finish the very first version of our game. Perhaps you have noticed, but most of the games are having this loading screen. The reason why that screen is in place is because the game needs to load certain assets or establish certain connections. Considering we do use lots of images in our game, we have to implement a loading screen during which we will load our images. Perhaps you haven't noticed this issue because most likely you're running on an emulator which has plenty resources, but if you were to run the app on a device which is low on resources, you would see how certain images are loaded a bit later. So let's get our hands dirty. First step is to create the loading screen class which will extend the base widget. We will fill the background using some blue shade, which I will call sky blue. The loading screen will have only one member variable, which is the loading text. I will copy the initialization from the score holder and adapt it. We will align the text in the middle of the screen and we can use 10% as a font ratio. The anchor can be set to center. When render gets cold, we'll have to render the background and the text afterwards. In the resize method, we do have to resize our text. We also have to call the update method of our text to ensure the text is being updated. Then, we have to add the loading screen entry in the screen state. In the beginning, we'll start our game with the loading screen. I'll quickly enhance the screen manager to support the loading screen. I made a small mistake. The update has to be called after resizing the text. Otherwise, the text will actually use the zero size and it won't be visible. I'll change the background color and the loading screen is finished. Now, what is important is to preload the images before start giving the control to the user. I'll create a new method called load assets, which will typically preload the images using Flame special API. Okay, so we'll wait until all the assets are being loaded, and only then we'll switch to the menu screen. We do have to call flame.images.loadAll method and pass a list containing the paths to all our image assets. This normally would be quite hard to extract, but I am a big fan of Linux and I will be using the find command to find all the files which have a certain extension. The command is find.-name and followed by the desired extension or pattern. I will be copying the retrieved list into Notepad++. We are not interested on the first part, so we will replace it by a quotation mark. Then we'll replace the .png with .png quotation mark, comma. Using this trick, we have extracted a list of assets and we convert it into a list of strings. Pretty useful trick. Let's head to our emulator. I'll hit up restart and you can see the loading screen being rendered. Because our assets are not really high resolution, the loading goes quite fast. But if you need to, let's say, load a database, the loading procedure will take much longer and you don't really want for the user to play around while the game is not fully initialized. And that's it. We are now ready to publish our very first version of the game. So guys, this would be the perfect time to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. To be fair, you're really doing me a huge solid. Thanks a lot for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!